I'm Jeff Hertzberg.
And I'm Zoe Francois. Welcome to my kitchen. And we're going to be baking bread today from our new book, Healthy Bread in 5 Minutes a Day.
We are going to be baking in Zoe's kitchen, as she said, just so that people know we are not married. We met 6 years ago to write Artisan Bread in 5 Minutes a Day, which was a book about the classic European baking method, but adapted in a super fast 5-minute-a-day method based on stored dough. The book became a hit to our surprise and all of our families, and our readers asked us to recreate that same idea with whole grains, fruits and vegetables.
And even gluten-free. We
That's
have
right.
a whole chapter on gluten-free breads.
The ingredients for the recipes in our book cost about 40 cents for a 1-pound loaf. We've replaced a lot of the white flour, the sugar, and a good deal of the salt for healthier ingredients. So we've replaced, in many of them, we have 100% whole wheat or other whole grains. In the recipe we're going to show you, it's about 70-80% whole wheat. We've decreased the sugar to pretty much zero. We use natural sweeteners like honey, agave, and maple syrup.
The dough is so easy and so versatile that you can make all different shapes and sizes of breads. We have everything from a baguette to pita breads, pizzas, all different kinds of flatbreads. And they're all gorgeous and all tasty.
One of the things that distinguishes our book from a lot of the other books that are out there right now is we use a very wet dough, but it's not so wet that you can't handle it. So you can make free-form loaves, which is what all of us associate with the artisan method from Europe. The other thing is that it's wet enough so that it can be stored for up to 2 weeks in the refrigerator.
We wanted to strip away all of the intimidation of bread baking, so we tried to make this as simple and easy as possible, including the equipment that you'll need. Jeff and I really like to use a bucket like this because it's really easy to store the dough in the refrigerator.
And I'm just going to go ahead and mix up a loaf of the master recipe. It's sort of the recipe that everything else in the book is based on. If you know how to do this, you can bake anything in the book. So what we do is we just dump everything in the bucket or the bowl. And I literally mean dump it. This is 5½ cups of whole wheat flour, 2 cups of all-purpose unbleached white flour, a tablespoon of salt, and a tablespoon and a half of any kind of granulated yeast. So here's the new ingredient. It's vital wheat gluten. It's an extract of wheat that contains all of the gluten that helps bread to rise and develop bubbles. You just dump that into, and you briefly whisk that around, and that's it. But I'm then gonna just dump in 4 cups of water. It's lukewarm water. If it wasn't lukewarm water, it would take longer than 2 hours. If it's lukewarm, just sort of a little warm to touch. And I'm going to mix that with a spoon. And what you see I've got here is a wet dough. I'm going to cover it loosely, maybe snap it down, and then open it a bit so gas can come out. It stays for 2 hours on the counter. It's going to rise quite a lot, and then it's going to go into the refrigerator. Now remember, I've got 20 minutes of active preparation time to divide between 4 loaves of bread. It doesn't take me anywhere near 20 minutes, and that's why we were comfortable saying you could do this, anybody could do this with 5 minutes a day of active preparation time.
That's right. This rose for 2 hours on the counter, and then we refrigerated it overnight. What I want to do is just pull some of the dough up and out, and you can see, even though we didn't need this bread, we have really, really great gluten structure, which is that really nice stretchy quality to the bread that you want. And then I'm just going to stretch that top all the way down and around to the bottom. So that is our basic boule shape, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch this into an oval, and that is it. So about a minute and a half of work. And as you get used to the method, it will really only take you about 30 seconds to form a loaf of bread. Brush the top of the loaf with some water. And then I'm going to sprinkle with our mixture of seeds. If you don't get it the first time, you can just keep going over that slash. It's not going to hurt the dough. And then we'll go straight into our oven that we have a pizza stone in the middle rack. And we'll just shake that right onto the pizza stone, and then I'm going to throw my water right into a broiler pan that I have set up. Hear that steam? And then quick shut the door. And the steam environment will give it a really nice glossy, crispy crust. Bake your bread for about 30 to 35 minutes until you have a really nice deep brown crust. With the pizza peel, I'm just gonna slide it right under the loaf and take it out of the oven, and we're gonna put this right onto a cooling rack. Peel the parchment off of the loaf so that that bottom crust has a chance to get nice and crispy. And the parchment just peels right off. You can have fresh homemade bread, simple, fast, delicious, healthy, and save yourself a lot of money by making it yourself.
How'd that work?
You're a genius. It's really good.
So are you.